Hi, hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite places, and I'm really in a hurry right now. I mean, it's December 12th, and I got a crap ton of videos to do. I was originally gonna make this video like 3 days ago, or maybe 2 days ago, but I'm just really busy. Anyway, I planned to talk about Japan today in another episode of me around the world, where I talk about the places I've been to and my experience there. Of course, it's not going to be my last time there. I'm going to go there sometime soon, of course, because it is a great country. Anyway, it was the year 2015 when I was 12 years old, when I first went to Japan. And I didn't go to Tokyo, I didn't go to Hokkaido, I went to Osaka and Kyoto. Actually, mainly Osaka, but Kyoto for half a day, and then Uji, which is like the suburbs of Kyoto. I just realized that there's a place called Uji, like just a couple hours ago. I've always thought that it's Osaka, but actually that place is called Uji. So it was a summer when I went there, and I went there for 7 days ish, and I was 12 years old. I didn't bring a camera there. Actually, I did, but I didn't plan to make videos or whatever because I was young and I didn't plan where to go. So I didn't take that many photos or videos, and even if I take them, it has a shite quality. So I'm gonna try my best to show you some of my photos and videos I took there, but it's going to have a crappy quality. Anyway, we will start off with day one. Starting off in the morning, we're at the Hong Kong airport, and we took a plane to Osaka, Nippon. Yeah. So Nippon means Japan, basically. So Osaka. It is sort of towards the southern part of Japan, and a little bit more north we have the capital Tokyo, and then on the very very north we have the island of Hokkaido, with the capital being Sapporo, I think. Anyway, back to Osaka, one of the most famous places in Japan. So we arrived at the airport, and we also, since I didn't take that many photos and videos, I probably had forgotten a good half of the trip, so I'm going to try my best to recall my memories, like that Taiwan and that Macau video I did. Anyway, we went from the airport to train station, that is the Kansai station. And it was already nighttime, and the first thing that I noticed in Japan is that the air quality is way better. Damn, I can breathe, and that's awesome. But that's basically my first reaction going to any other country outside of, like, Southeast Asia. That's basically my reaction. That I can breathe, which is awesome. And from Kansai Station, we are heading to our Airbnb. My first Airbnb experience, and it is very near Shinsaibashi, which is one of the tourist attractions, little district in Osaka because of its famous streets and markets. And nearby, it's the Namba station. And so we went to Namba station. It was already nighttime, and with the help of Google Map, we arrived at our Airbnb, which is really cozy, really nice. And we settled down, and everything's cool. Afterwards, we went back out of the Airbnb for dinner, and I think just a couple streets away, we found this small little ramen noodle restaurant. It's really small, and we went in there. We, ate ramen noodles, and it was actually one of the more memorable dinners I've had in, outside of Hong Kong. This is a very, very memorable first dinner in Japan because it is not the instant ramen, the commercial ramen, or the, cheap, uh, well, not cheap, but the conventional average ramen. This is real ramen from a person who looks like he knows what he's doing, and you can really taste the sincerity. One thing that Japan is really famous about is that they are very polite, and they are very focused on whatever they're doing. They're very hardworking people, like Asians in general, but especially for Japan. There's that. Of course, I can't really talk about Japan without mentioning anime. And afterwards, after the dinner, we went to a supermarket nearby called Tamade, and it's a small little supermarket. We went in there to buy some food because on the next few days we will not eat dinner outside because that's friggin' expensive and we need to save money. By the way, I went to Japan with my family, so there's that. And my parents, actually my mom mainly, is the one who plans where to go. I didn't really get a saying on this. Anyway, that's day one. It's pretty nice, pretty cool. Now we have day two, aka I think also I think it's July 17th. Anyway, on that day we decided to go to the Universal Studios because hey, we're in Japan. Yeah, Universal Studios is a very American thing, but seeing the Japanese version is still a worthwhile experience because there are places in the Osaka Universal Studios that the Hollywood version doesn't have. I've been to 3 Universal Studios in my life. The first one in Singapore, which is small and disappointing, and then we have the one in Osaka, which is really clean, kind of nice, not as exciting or as ambitious as Hollywood, which is just freaking awesome. Anyway, we were in Universal Studios. Alright, I found my Google Calendar 2015. Here we go. I actually did write down where did I go inside the Universal Studios. So, starting off at Hollywood District, which is this really, which is basically the entrance to any Universal Studios and to any large theme parks, amusement parks in general, just, the good old days, the nostalgia, and all that stuff. And afterwards, I passed by the Amity Village. I think there's a Jaws related ride or attraction there that I didn't go in. And then there's Backdraft, which is not a thing in Hollywood. Backdraft is where you walk into a sort of a studio, an indoor studio, and fires and explosions happen. That's Backdraft. And I was actually really impressed with the fire and explosions because they are entertaining, and I was 12 years old. But that's something that the Hollywood Universal Studios doesn't have. And afterwards, I went to Harry Potter, which is even more impressive. As I've said before, the Harry Potter part in the Universal Studios is probably the most impressive part in any Universal Studios in the world. I mean, they really built, the Harry Potter houses with the snow, the Hogwarts, small mini-sized a portion of Hogwarts, but still it's impressive. And the ride inside of Hogwarts is just a thrill. The seat moves around. Of course, we got the screen and the 4D experience, but also real practical stuffs are actually flying at our faces at the same time. It's actually awesome. And we also went to Spider-Man, which is not really that good. I wrote down it's not really that good. Spider-Man ride is actually a little disappointing. But afterwards, we have Back to the Future, where we sit on a car and we crash on everything. That's what I wrote. But I think I can recall that it's a pretty fun ride. And then afterwards, we went to see Elmo, the Sesame Street Theater thing, which is probably the most underwhelming thing about the Osaka Universal Studios. But my brother wanted to see it. He was like 6 back then, or five. And then it was raining. It was raining and it was cold. It was a cold day. But I really wanted to see this attraction called Water World. So me and my dad, we went there. We just walked there, and we realized that it's closed. So we walked back, and the journey of walking there, it's so cold, it's freezing. I was just shaking. I was shivering. Also, of course, I had lunch there in a restaurant called Three Broomsticks, I think. It is inside the Harry Potter area, and it's a real weird, sort of quirky Harry Potter themed restaurant, and it's not bad at all. Also, after Waterworld, I think before we left, we went back to the Hollywood district, the entrance district, and there's a little cafe. We went there, ordered some drinks, and for some reason, I saw my classmate there, all the way from Hong Kong, which is rare. Like, how on earth do you go to another country and on the same day, at the same location, you see someone that you used to see every single day normally back at home? This is crazy. Shout out to Harry. Alright, day 3. Awesome. Finally, we are going to explore something more local. And since we are in Osaka, we are going to the most famous Osaka tourist attraction, and that is the Koromon Market. Koromon Market, which is just a street market. You know, it's like the one that I recently went to, the one in Jeju. Except this one is more fun, more large in scale, has more versatility, and a lot of food. We had I don't even know what's the name of that food, but it's like a ball, and then you eat it, and I'm gonna show you photos. We also went to Namba Walk, which is basically this mall, and according to my description, it's pretty boring. Namba Walk, it's pretty boring. But for dinner, we went to Shabuchin, which is basically a Japanese hot pot. Hot pot is an Asian thing. It's an Eastern Asian thing. I'm pretty sure it's also like a thing in like America, you know, Asian food wise. But basically, it's a giant pot of hot soup, and you know, you take something raw, you put it in there, and now it's cooked, and then you eat it. That's hot pot, and everybody share one pot. And it's actually not bad. Actually, it's really, really good. Japanese hot pot, there's something special about it. I mean, hot pot from every country and every sort of district, not district, what the heck am I doing? Every region in Eastern Asia are a little different. If you want to go to Sichuan and Chongqing in China, then I don't know if any of y'all will survive, because the hot pot there is the spiciest in the world, and I wouldn't be able to handle that. Let me see what else also happened on that day. Nothing all that important really. So there's that. Anyway, moving over to day 4. In the morning, we went to the Tennoji Zoo. Tennoji is actually it actually refers to Shitennoji, which means the temple of 4 gods. I think. But in that area, there's also a zoo, the Osaka Zoo, and we went there first, and it's actually really cutesy. It's a cute little zoo, you know. Another thing that Japan is really known for is that they're humble. Everything they do, and the urban planning, the buildings and everything, they're all very humble, very sincere and modest. Plus electric cables in the sky, you know, welcome to Japan. And you know, this is actually a really good zoo because I get to see a ton of animals like polar bears and owls and monkeys and lots of birds, flamingos, and yeah, I do love my owls. They are awesome creatures. Monkeys are also really cute. There's this clip that I had where this monkey just freaked out, and it's just awesome. Afterwards, we had lunch nearby, where we ate tempura, which is basically deep fried everything, Japanese style. But then again, it's really good. You deep fry it, and yes, it's gonna lose its crisp if you dip it in soya sauce, but you do that with tempura. Afterwards, we went to Shitennoji. Before we went there, I think we got lost a little bit and we went to some other cemetery or memorial or something, which looks kinda scary when I was 12, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually really cinematic, beautiful place. But yeah, I specifically requested to go to this place because I've always wanted to go to, you know, cultural heritage in different countries, because cultural heritage is different in each region in the world, and they're all really special because they hold weight, they have history, they have been through time, and they're all interesting. So even though I didn't get to go into the G, aka the temple, but I still enjoy it. Anyway, I don't know why, but I'm feeling really tired right now. Anyway, after visiting Shitennoji, I think we went back home. But before we went back home, we were sort of walking in the streets nearby, and I remember going into this little shop, which is this weird combination of like a spacey empty room, maybe a shop, but a small one plus a few tables for some reason. It's just a really weird place. And then in that shop, I sat down beside a table, and they gave me this bowl with a lid, Japanese soup bowl, and I opened it, and then there's this chopsticks, and in the bowl it's red bean soup, like straight up red bean soup, not like red bean goo, which is another thing in like southern China. Not really red bean sand, it's like red bean soup. It was actually really sweet, and then there's dough inside the red bean soup, like dumpling dough, some sort of dumpling dough. Anyway, and it was hot, and it was really sweet, and I still don't know what's that. I have no idea what is that, but whatever it is, I want to try it again. Anyways, afterwards, I think we went back home and nothing important Nothing all that important really happened. Let me rewind and see what did I miss. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, moving over to day 5. Day 5 is the day I went to Kyoto and also Uji, which is one of the regions at the suburbs of Kyoto. So, Kyoto is widely known as the cultural capital of Japan. So I'm definitely going back. I mean, I have probably missed out everything in that place. So, oh my gosh. I'm running out of storage space. That is a great thing. Anyway, Kyoto, day 5. Before leaving, my parents went to the hospital and I stayed at the Airbnb. And, yeah, I think it was like my dad who, I think, injured himself or had some sort of sickness that is very urgent. So they went to the hospital while I stayed. And then afterwards, we took a train to Kyoto. No, not Kyoto. Uji. And the first thing we did was going to the I searched and searched and searched. I tried so hard looking for the name of this temple, and now I know it's called Byoto-in, which is this really nice red colored temple, slightly built on top of a lake beside a really nice village that is very local and cultural. And yes, anyway, this temple, we went to this museum inside this temple, and we see a lot of artifacts and a lot of history, which is really cool. And then afterwards we went to that touristy village nearby where everything's mochi, aka green tea. So we had like green tea ice cream, green tea flavored whatever, and green tea flavored, oh right, it's green tea is matcha. Green tea is matcha, and then mochi is the small fluffy dough thing, and I ate that green tea dough thing too. With the ice cream. The green tea ice cream is great. Afterwards, we walked to the train station again, and we went to Kyoto. And by then it was already sunset. It was late, and we went to a mall called The Cube, and it was a fantastic mall. I was 12 years old, and I was actually stunned because it looks futuristic. It looks amazing, and the way the mall is designed, it's not very uniform. It's kind of new age, and it's very creative. We also saw the sunset at the mall, and it was actually incredibly beautiful. We were at the rooftop, and I'm going to free some space on my computer, and it is very beautiful. But what impressed me even more is the dinner we had in the Cube, where it's basically this iron fry thing where we sit down and we see chefs, a bunch of chefs, sort of frying food on top of a table. I think there's a name for it, a specific name, but I can't recall that right now. But it's this really, really hot, like iron table, and they put raw food there, and they use sort of two giant spatulas and sort of mix them around and cook them, and it's delicious. All right, day 6, Shinsaibashi. We decided to walk around the Shinsaibashi district in Osaka, which is really nearby Namba, so we didn't take a train there or anything. Yeah, just it's very dense. The streets, they are touristy and they are busy, bustly, hustly, also incredibly dense and also very colorful. Again, a lot of billboards and neon signs at night, especially your typical Japanese cyberpunk neon sign feel to it, except this one is less futuristic, but just as dense and as busy. A lot of food, a lot of fun, quirky little things like this giant screen, which is secretly filming the road. So if you are standing on the road and you look up, you see a screen, and inside the screen, it's yourself. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun. We had more ramen noodles for lunch. My earphones almost fell off. We had ramen noodles for lunch, and I was looking through my photos, and I saw this photo, and it's like a ticket for like getting my lunch, and I saw sauce, so it probably means like sauced noodles, like sauce ramen. And then we also have another word, which now I know is in ancient China, this word means minced meat. And since in Japanese kanji, it's very similar to ancient Chinese because it doesn't really evolve or anything. So I think minced meat is also something that I ate. Therefore, I deduce. Anyway, we continued to walk around in Shinsaibashi. Afterwards, we went to more urban areas, giant billboards, giant roads, stores. I had a stomach ache, I remember that. And soon we arrived at a sushi restaurant, finally. Japan, we have sushi. But eating sushi in Japan isn't really like a really common thing. People eat ramen way more than sushi because sushi is, not really that common. But there are food items that a lot of people think, Italians eat every day. But they probably don't. Like, I don't know, mozzarella cheese. Or maybe they do eat mozzarella cheese every day. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is Japanese people, they don't eat sushi every day. That's very much not true. But still, I'm in Japan. I gotta try the sushi there. And so we went to this sushi restaurant where they put plates of sushi on a conveyor belt. We see what we want to eat, we take that plate, and then afterwards, we need to pay. The price we need to pay depends on how many plates we have. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. If you're expecting salmon sushi, you're gonna be disappointed because for Japanese people, salmon is like not really that good of a fish. But that's basically it. The sushi there, it's the most traditional, the most correct sushi, the most accurate way to make sushi. Anyway, day 7. I don't think anything happened in day 7. Apparently, I filmed 0 videos on that day, and only took like 10 photos, 9 photos. But according to my calendar, on that day, immediately after I woke up, we went back to the airport, and we went back to Hong Kong. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, again, I'm going to return to Japan in like, I don't know, not too long of a period of time. I think Japan might be the most interesting country in Asia, and at the same time most accessible country, because people around the world loves anime and food in Japan, like ramen, sushi, tempura, um and sashimi. And yes, life in Japan is actually very much unlike anime or manga, but still, because of these cultural things, Japan, for the culture. I'm the culture detective. Come on. Also, the music there, actually not bad at all. There is a lot of underground music in Japan that really needs to be discovered. The art there is fantastic as well. The culture there in general, it's just so sincere. Whereas, like, I don't want to shade Korean culture, but the Korean culture right now is very much influenced by Western culture, but Japanese culture really stays true to its own roots, and I think it's friggin' fantastic. Also, again, the streets in Japan, they're clean, they are clear, yet they're very humble and sincere. So I've been to Singapore, and the streets there, they're very clean to a point where it looks kinda superficial. It's kinda fake. It's like I'm in this futuristic city in 2049 or something when I was in Singapore. But for Japan, it's really just honest to itself, and I really appreciate that. Again, people are polite, people are kind, people are nice, and they don't speak good English. Very much not. So learn a few Japanese phrases before you go there. Of course, you have your konnichiwa and sayonaras, and your domo arigatou gozaimashita, hondo ne arigatou gozaimashita, and also your sunimasen and gomenasai, your chotto mate, and your oishii, which is good taste. Also, so desu ne, I see, and soka. Okay, if you've seen One Punch Man. But yeah, just because you watch anime, it doesn't mean you actually speak Japanese, which is very much true for me. I mean, I've only watched a little bit of anime. Like, I haven't even scratched the surface. And I don't speak Japanese at all. I know all these phrases because, everyone in the world knows them. But seriously, learn a few Japanese phrases. It's definitely going to help. And other than that, the language, it's a good language. It sounds really good to me. Reading the language, to me, I can read the kanji for most of them. I cannot read the simpler Japanese words. I forgot what's the name, like hira something. I cannot read those, but Japanese is like a mix between logograms and syllabaries. So I can read the logograms because they're actually just ancient Chinese words. Yeah, anyways, go to Japan. It's awesome. Osaka and Kyoto. So, have you been to Japan? Comment below. Thanks for watching. I'm going to sleep.